So I'm starting this in mid-conversation. I left the definition, and then a bunch of people commented on it, telling me I was wrong. Some people were like, yeah, I mean,
Did
what
you
if
even
you?
read it?
They'll say, what if you don't like ninjas and jays? That's prejudice. If you're prejudiced, it's fine because you're not violating the rights of nobody. You're not affecting them, right?
Just because you don't like
But
someone.
if you violate their rights, that's what makes a prejudice. The violation of somebody's rights, or that's what makes a racist. Violation of somebody's rights solely based on their race is racism. That's what racism is. It's not hating somebody because of
It's not saying a name.
their race. It's not saying a name. Saying a name is not racism. Prejudice, sometimes, in some cases, it's ignorant, but it's not racism. So somebody leaves a comment. They say, "Did you bother to Google the definition?" I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, sharpest tool in the shed. Never claimed to be. So you know what I did? I Googled, "Can men have babies?" Just to see what Google had to say. Because I already had a feeling what Google was going to say, because I understand what Google is here for to a degree, and what they are doing, where people believe that Google is the all-knowing God, and if you need information, you go to Google. Google will give you that information, right, wrong, or it doesn't matter. You're going to believe whatever Google says. And Google said yes, depending on the circumstance, men can have babies. Now, I didn't go any further into reading it, because it doesn't matter what it says after that point. It doesn't matter if it says it was a woman that transitioned. It doesn't matter if it says that they can take a female uterus and shove it in a man's abdomen, then donate some eggs and some sperm. None of that shit matters. What matters is I know that men can't have babies. I know that. It's a biological fact. But Google says they can. So, be careful about what you think you know, because Google fucking told you. And you shouldn't believe anything that the internet tells you. Nothing. You should do your own research. You should find the facts out for yourself, and go from there, and spread that message. The spreading of complete nonsense. Like, look around you. Listen, Christy and I have been in a place for, we're in Cincinnati, heading back home, and the past 2 days we had some had to go see doctors and stuff like that. Went out to an Asian restaurant last night and just grabbed some crab rangoons real quick to go. It has been nothing but Guatemalans, Mexicans, African, like real Africans, like Africans, and that's it. We was in the dentist office this morning, and I lost count of how many people were in there. It was a bunch. I mean, it was over 20, right? At least.
Oh, yeah.
You know how many people that came in and out that door spoke English? 2, me and Christy. The rest of them were, and all of them drove nice new cars.
Brand new.
We drive a pile of shit. They're all driving nice new cars. Can't fucking drive with the shit. I try to park in the middle of the. Here's the thing: parking lots. If everybody did it the same way, the ideal way would be to park against the one line. But everybody had to park against the left line or the right line in order for it to work. So what you do is everybody park in the center of them. That's kind of how the United States has adopted it. Not these motherfuckers. No, they'll park right up against your shit. Their brand new car. You know what I do? I open the fucking door. Wherever it stops is where it stops. Normally it stops right about the time it smashes into their car, about a centimeter or two. I think she was lucky that I didn't hit her car, did I? I don't intentionally do it. It's just that's where the door opens up to. It's where it opens up to. If you're dumb enough to park right up against me because you're a little skinny 100-pound Guatemalan, it's tough shit if your new shit gets fucked up. Like, we're losing the country. We're losing it. Like, if it's not already gone, we're fucking down that trail, and everybody's just watching it happen. It's going about their happy fucking lives, making less money, paying more taxes, living under more restrictions. It's a joke. This country has become the joke of the fucking world. And whether it's men having babies, or didn't you Google it, or whatever it is, or these fucking border jumpers taking over, or Elon Musk with his H-1B CQ visas so he can import fucking labor to work for him for cheap. It's all destroying it.
Everyone loves Elon too.
Oh, I know. That's the best part about it.
Gross.
That's the best part about it. Is, people think that some billionaire has their interest in heart. In X. So I've been going on X, and I've been stretching it a little more with like memes and shit. I know not all Jews are bad. I've said it before. I got a Jew that I love. That dude's a lifesaver in my eyes. Love the dude. Great motherfucker. Granted, he's my lawyer. Great motherfucker though. So it's not. I know that not all Jews are taking over the world, or have taken over the world, or run the world. I understand that. However, it is fucking them that's doing it. Everybody that's doing it happens to be those people. And yes, the shit they are doing to you, it definitely oppresses you. Just like usury. You got some Asians going on, doing a show. Blacks can't be racist, right? Google, can blacks be racist? Blacks can't be racist, right? Is the thing. You can only be racist if you're white. Now, Matt Kim is racist because he brought up the fact that he has a friend that is a Semite and told him about Jesus. If you're anti-Semitic, why wouldn't I fucking be? I'm not a Semite. Why wouldn't I be anti-Semitic?
Blacks and other racial minorities cannot be racist, just like women cannot be sexist.
You heard
Racism
it from Google.
Power.
Google says blacks.
Whites are not hurt. Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. Whites are not hurt by what?
Whites are not hurt by the everyday flow of society. I think you were trying so hard to be objective that you end up being politically correct. It was a question.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, anybody can be racist. However, in order to be racist, you have to. I've said it many times. Like when I was in, back in the day when I used to disobey daddy government, I'm a good little taxpaying slave now. See, I'm proud. I wear my tax slave shirt, so I'm proud to be one. Good law-abiding citizen here. That's what we do. We spend our days trying to abide by the law, don't we, baby?
Yeah.
That is our whole goal in life. Walk in the footsteps of our God government.
And pigs' pigtails.
Yeah. What was I saying? I just forgot. I just started thinking about something else. But yeah.
Oh no, CNN says sure. Black people can be racist.
Yes, they can.
I'm just saying.
Anybody can be racist. But in order to be racist, you have to violate somebody's rights solely based on their race. Me saying, a word. And what's funny about it is, I talk pretty crudely in real life. I tone it down a little bit for the net just because I can't, Kristen gets on my ass all the time. I started talking about border jumpers and shit in the fucking dentist office. She's like, we're not having the conversation. I'm like, why not? They need to hear it. They can't understand what the fuck we're saying anyway.
Then why even?
She's like, well, you don't know that. I was like, well, maybe they can. If they can, fuck them. Who's paying for all that shit?
People have done
you,
their
me,
deal to get here, so you don't know who
and
they
you will
are.
pay,
You can't just assume
or some
it's 'cause
fucker with a
Mexican.
Listen, if you can't
No,
speak English and your ass is here,
That's
guess
not true.
what?
No, you probably learn when you come over here, but there's a lot to get to it. I'm just saying. Just like the African that was next to us, the African lady.
I'm sorry that I have a prejudice because
couldn't.
20 million fucking border jumpers has come over here in the past 5 years.
Because they couldn't speak it, and just because of the way they look, you can't say, "Oh, well, they jumped the border." You don't know. That's why I was saying.
And anyway, that's not a racial thing. That's an economic thing.
Yeah.
Those people are making you poor because if they wasn't here, the supply and demand. That's what capitalism runs off of: supply and demand. When the supply of jobs is greater, when the supply of jobs is greater than the demand for jobs, pay raises. When the supply of labor is greater than the demand for jobs, pay lowers. That's why your wages have been stagnant since the late 90s. Think about that. 25 years and wages haven't went up. The prices of everything has skyrocketed. And I know there's a few instances where wages have went up. If you're a doctor, wages have went up. If you're a lawyer, wages have went up. If you own your own business, your wages have went up. But for the average dude working in, Joe Schmo factory, his wages have not come close to keeping up with inflation over the past 25 years. Not close. My dad retired, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, making like $1 less per hour than he made in 1999 at the same job, doing the same job. He actually got a pay cut during that time. When used to, so the last year I worked there was the last year I worked at Cinco. Was the last year they did we used to get a 3% cost of living raise every year, no matter what. And that was the last year they did that. If you don't see what's happening, your government is making you more of a slave, because now they're going to make you dependent, more dependent. And us as men have to stand up at some time and say enough is a fucking enough. We're not going down this road. We're done. We're over it. And there's consequences of that. I understand that. Possible consequences. Everybody who has done great things throughout history had a choice to make. Keep doing what I'm doing, possibly suffer the consequences of doing something else. At what point, as a society, do we say, you know what, it's time to fucking man up? And if the consequences comes, what has to be done, then so be it. I don't know. But anyway, back to the moral of the story. Google fucking lies to you to manipulate your mind and to make you think things are true that are just not true. And that's been happening for a long time. A lot of us has fell into it. I've fallen into it myself. Don't believe everything Google tells you, because not everything Google says is true. And there's your proof. And if you believe men can have fucking babies, you're a part of the problem. You need to get the fuck away, grow the fuck up, go get laid, do something. Just stay the fuck away from Google.